Cancer. I'm sorry for last month. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Cancer, please don't hate me. I mean, I know I have some people that they really wanted this reading for the last month of September, but it was really impossible for me to get the reading for you last month. And so I'm gonna probably publish this video tomorrow, because I think it's a better day to put them, to upload them. And so for this month of October, Cancer, because let's say that what I'll do, I'm gonna try to combine a little bit of what happened maybe, or maybe like what you might be experiencing through like these last weeks or this last week of September, like let's say this full moon in Pisces we just experienced. And I'm gonna concentrate myself a lot more in the transits and aspects that are happening to you during this month of October, Cancer, because there is already so much to talk about. And guys, your 8th house, Jupiter and Saturn in your 8th house, Aquarius, this restructuring that has been the main subject for you since last year and still right now, and it's all this change that I think, you know, I mean, my last videos for you, Cancer, they were very positive. I think that there was a lot of things that were happening to you in a very positive way, but maybe throughout this last period there has been a sense of going backwards so that we could really release whatever had to stay in the past. I mean, and having the Death card in the center of your reading, like your first card, I mean, it's kind of like a confirmation of what I was kind of feeling about you right now. Cancer. So I think there's so many things and good stuff has been going on, but there are some still pivots of or situations that are transforming you and had transformed your life, Cancer. You know, the death, when it comes, we're not talking here about literal death. You know, for me it's very stupid to talk about this kind of stuff, guys. For me it's more about a sense of metamorphosis of the self, or metamorphosis of a situation, change, you know, profound change, you know, that in some moments we don't necessarily choose, most definitely coming with this energy. Like maybe some things that you feel right now that had like some endings that had been imposed to you, and that, Cancer, the thing that you had to do is just allow this change to come to you and go to the new. Let the sun shine again. Now, so what is happening in your home? Because, you know, and I'm gonna keep on going, it's just that, guys, I think this is gonna be an intense reading, Cancer. So guys, if you don't want to, or you prefer to wait a little bit, maybe let's wait a little bit. You know, and when I'm saying intense, it doesn't mean bad, okay? But it's just intense, Cancer. And you know, this new moon that we are gonna have right now by the 6-7 of October, it's in your 4th house in Libra, and the sun is there because that's what it means when we have a new moon. I mean, and you are ruled by the moon, Cancer, and you probably know this you had a strong attachment to the cycles of the moon. So new moons, full moons, you might feel them quite a lot, you know, in a way. It's like it gives you this lunatic personality in some moments, correct? But so imagine this, no? So when the sun is in this 4th house in Libra, and then the moon is there conjuncted, then it means that we cannot see the moon, correct? The moon is hidden. But something here is coming out in you that maybe was hidden. High Priestess. Something that you had been working on or has been a burnout for you for already some time. And this is touching your home, Cancer. What is happening here in your home? Like, man, with your family. Because then not only the sun and the moon are here, but also Mercury is still in retrograde in this moon. I mean, like next to this moon. And Mars is there. So much energy in what it means: family, home environment, foundation, comfort, security, everything that you build or have you see as your zone, like, of comfort, Cancer. And what happens is that when Libra is in this house, because this is for you, Cancer, so you know the 4th house for other signs, they don't represent Libra, but for you this is Libra. And Libra is all about relationships, all about relationships. So relationships, family, home environment, maybe some burnout situations with maybe particularly someone in your family. Maybe it could be a father figure, as the sun there is there, or a mother figure, or maybe this could even represent an issue between your mother or your father that is very highly impacting you throughout this month of October. And I think that this is something that has been kept hidden for quite some time. Or you, Cancer, as you perceive the situation, was something like you were trying to shut up. You were feeling this. You intuitively knew that this was gonna happen. And when Mars is in this house, it might be that some explosive situation might arouse, or it's already happening right now, like the build-up, like this energy of it's building, it's building, it's building, the pressure is building, the pressure is building, and then suddenly does bam. And this is something you're gonna have to be very careful with, because you know you don't want to overly react if this is something that has been a burnout throughout some time. And I'm definitely feeling this here. Like, I think that this is something that you have been experiencing and trying to keep inside yourself, hidden. Even you maybe even trying to kind of lie to your subconscious and say no, I don't want to see this right now. I mean, I know it's there, but I don't want to look at it. This is like too much for me right now. You have been trying to pay attention or take care of other things. Maybe also, if this might not relate to a precise connection regarding your home environment or your family or somebody that is very close, your family or this home environment, it might be that you're doing a lot of changes regarding your home. Something like a new cycle regarding your home, something that you need to repair, something that you need to transform. And it might be that this is not something that goes easy. It might be that this is something that you know it takes fucking time. And that maybe there are some costs as well attached to this change. Or you may be trying to do these changes, maybe doing, let's say, an example, reforming your home, you know, or buying or selling a home. I mean, if this is something that you were thinking of doing right now, like let's say sign papers to buy that home, or to, let's say, get documentation for doing this change in your home environment or regarding this family member that is part of the situation, I don't think that right now has been the great time for doing this, Cancer. No matter if you have been pushing and you're like, yeah, let's do this, then that, then that, then that, then that. Mercury retrograde, it's not the right time for, let's say, moving forward, even though that might be what we feel that we are driven to do. Because Mercury retrograde is like taking us backwards, it's making delays in all this kind of stuff, probably also in the way we need to process this information. In some moments might even feel difficult, and so it's better to probably, if there are stuff here that you want to sign papers or maybe sell something or buy something, it might be better that you will have to wait until, let's say, half of October, when all these planets, major planets like Saturn and Jupiter in your 8th house start moving direct. Because this is when the forward movement starts coming, Cancer. And Jupiter is gonna be in a beautiful aspect to your 4th house. So right now, I feel like I'm connecting here with a Cancer that probably you have been trying to keep a huge burn out. Like maybe you trying to do many things at the same time, having to take care of many people at the same time, and also even in some moments feeling the impulse to be reactive towards how others are responding to you, and just step back, Cancer. Really try, in the moment that you're feeling that this is being too much and maybe this person is like touching that button that you really don't want them to touch, just take a minute for yourself. Maybe try to take a time to maybe isolate yourself, even if it's just temporarily, so that you can put this situation in perspective. And I'm not saying that you have to contain. Containing for me, it's not good. Not at all. It's not about containing, but it's about you being able to step back so you can reserve this energy, so that then you can better respond. And then no matter the decision or whatever might happen here, even though it might be a difficult situation or something that could represent a huge change for you as for this home environment or this precise connection in your family, might be that you will get better results than just having this fucking 5 of Cups in your obstacle, which is you feeling emotional regretful. You feeling that maybe like this situation, it's like in some moments it's really emotionally feels overly too much. Right now it's normal emotionally having this new moon in your 4th house. In the beginning it feels a little bit too much. Expect that to happen if that's not yet what it happened. Of course, if you're resonating with this story, Cancer, if this is not saying anything to you, don't bother. You know, maybe check other videos or check your natal chart, and there might be other influences in your chart that might be stronger. I like to use astrology to, let's say, guide myself in these general readings, but I know that I cannot talk for every Cancer who is back there or any person who's related to Cancer energy. So if this is not saying anything to you, just move forward, Cancer, or whoever is there. But if you do, and this is something that you are experiencing right now, and you are like, I don't know, I have the feeling that you have been repressing here. I mean, you felt that you had been trying to keep on going for out some time. And right now you're in the moment where, Cancer, something here is happening as I said, that maybe it's almost even like imposed, or you feel like it's imposed to you as determined in your life, that you want to be careful, like, on how you react in this situation, because you don't want to be overly too impulsive, Cancer. Because if you do, I think that this is what you might be experiencing, my experience, or maybe what you had already experienced if this happened already. Like, feeling a little bit like, fuck, I shouldn't have reacted this way. Fuck, I shouldn't have said that this fast. You know, this is the kind of vibe. Now, I do see that whatever happened here, there is a change. Now, let's get a little bit more specific in this, because, so, what happens? Justice, the keys. Libra. Libra. And Venus is still in a Scorpio while being in this new moon. And Libra is a Venus sign. Cancer, I mean, I have these very, like, there is something here happening. There is something here happening. Like, because maybe somebody that you are very intimate with, and maybe you probably live with, Cancer. You live with this person, or is very close to your environment. Libra is relationships, you know? And so something very deep emotional has happened here in a connection. A situation is transforming. Now, when you have the Justice, even though maybe this change or this transformation, it doesn't mean that maybe the connection is over. Maybe for you it is, okay? Maybe you're going through a breakup right now, maybe not. But there is an undeniable change. Like, something here on the way you relate to this person or this precise environment has changed drastically, or is in process of changing. Now, you feel regretful about this right now. Like, even though you know that this was necessary, or maybe this situation had to happen, maybe in the way it happened, it wasn't really, you know, very harmonious. Now, if the Justice comes, it's because even though this might feel difficult in the beginning, and wow, man, I mean, it's just like, it's insane, you know, because, you know, Venus in a Scorpio, it is like, I mean, Venus is so beautiful, like, wonderful planet that brings abundance, beauty, and, you know, and touching the 5th house of romance, creativity, it's great, you know, like, because might bring a lot of passion and some sense of you kind of being in this dreamy state about a certain connection in your life, or maybe something that you have been doing, or that does touch your creativity, and your inspiration and your playfulness, because that's the 5th house. It's just that when it is in a Scorpio, Venus in a Scorpio, it has that downside, like that other side of the coin, because Venus doesn't feel comfortable in a Scorpio, you know? She might bring in some situations, or in some pics, like a sense of envy, jealousy, over possessiveness. And when Venus, I mean, the planet that talks about relationships in a sign as a Scorpio, deep emotional sign like you, Cancer, but even, you know, even more intense, you know. I feel like these traits might have been intensified throughout this period, maybe regarding one precise intimate relationship in your life of someone that you see very close to your home. And there is something here that is happening that has to put in balance. It's almost like you trying to put the scales in balance regarding the situation. Because there is some regret, some emotional regret of maybe on how this situation has come to an end, or on how this situation had been exposed with this death card. Like, now, Cancer, I need to say this. Really, if you are feeling this, or you have been feeling this throughout this last week, and now it's a little bit intensified during this new moon, because I think that you're also, too many cards guys, but I always look at them, really try to take a step back before overly reacting or letting yourself being taken into these. I mean, we need to listen and to pay attention to our emotions, you know. I think that our intelligence might in many ways come from those emotions, and we need to pay very well attention to them. But when emotions or actions, we want to determine them by our emotions, and our emotions come from a bad place, let's say a place of fear, a place of being scared of being abandoned, or having these emotional regrets, like emotion, I mean, like, let's say these emotions that come from a place that don't actually will help us just to, let's say, let ourselves go with those emotions and then act. You need to take a decision here. You need to really take a decision. This is how you're coming consciously in the reading. And it might be that you're in a, the guys, I mean, the lovers, it doesn't just talk about the union or a connection that is, let's say, very important in your life. It doesn't have to be necessarily romantic or intimate in that level, okay? But it could definitely be regarding maybe that special friend or somebody that is part of your family, but this is somebody that it's part of your soul, Cancer. And I think I'm talking here about probably I'm talking here about a precise connection, and that there is this important, it's like you feel like, or that you are in a crossroads right now, and I think that there is this important decision that has to be taken, and it's not an easy decision to be taken, Cancer. It might be, and could be just specific for someone who is watching the video right now, might be that I'm connecting here with a Cancer that is like, maybe you're going through a separation, like really like a deal, like something that you need to sign, documentation that you have to do because you're going through a divorce, or needing to maybe sign a deal regarding maybe a partnership in your life that was very influential regarding your home situation, and And if it's not that case, it could be that if it's not a breakup, or like let's say taking a time, solo time, or let's say no, have this definitive change, or just like momentum of change in the situation, it's maybe about like, you know, that something in this dynamic has to completely transform, and that this decision that you wanting to take here, or that maybe this person, if it's not you, maybe the other person is the one who's putting you in this situation, and maybe you're the one who has to decide on which direction, what to do about this. But maybe somebody here is coming towards you, because you know the dead, as I said, something here is happening to you. I think in a way you feel that it's being imposed to you, Cancer, like that it's there and now you need to know what to do about this. But you maybe didn't choose this precise situation. And now the information comes towards you. Maybe this situation kind of comes out of the light, of the darkness. And you are in the moment of, okay, what can I do about this? If I go in this direction, I know that I cannot go backwards. It's this or that. Like I'm staying in this or doing that, or maybe I'm gonna have to go to that direction. But it's almost like this feeling that you know that maybe this decision might mean a determinate or like quite a final change to the situation. But I think that this is very positive, because when you have the Justice, too many cards, when you have the Justice coming, guys, coming in here, it means that even though maybe in some moments feels like very difficult, Cancer, or in some moments you're like, whoa, and emotionally for sure, I think you're very, there's a lot of emotions here that kind of, you feel like a little bit drained in the beginning of this month, maybe in some moments, no, like maybe overly, maybe not necessarily drained, but to be honest with these cards, I have to be honest with what I see and I feel here, Cancer. I have the feeling that you are a little bit like overly too much thinking of what has been lost and maybe this connection, and maybe what happened in the past that didn't work out, you know, like those caps that had been spelled, and maybe you not really being able to, in a way, to accept what is still standing there, which is a lot, you know. So this thing is something that it's your obstacle and you need to change, because this melancholic, nostalgic energy, it's not really helping you here anymore in the situation. You kind of had to fucking erase this, Cancer. And you know, this is what it really can make, like having the Sun, Mars and Mercury retrograde together with the new moon in this 4th house. It's like, it's almost like you feel that this is like taking you backwards, but it's actually really guiding you to the future, you know. This is precisely this Mercury retrograde. And I know that Mercury is retrograde, they feel in general they are very difficult because they always bring delays. These are like the fast planets that do create disturbances in daily stuff, or maybe even Mercury or thinking, no? Maybe stuff that was always there, but suddenly during this period and throughout these last months of September, beginning of October, it feels like in some moments like we cannot move forward, no? And we want to, when we want to take action, Mars is pushing us there, we have all the instinct, we're starting to feel all this stuff, but still we don't have the results we want to have. And we feel the obstacles. And these obstacles, they feel intense, more than maybe in other times, you know? at a mental level. But the thing is that this Mercury retrograde, even though it's a retrograde, it has some really beautiful aspects that do help a lot, ones in your environment. Six of Cups, Cancer. Now, Jupiter has been very helpful in the beginning of this month to this Mercury, and most surely Six of Swords, hopes and fears, this is what you want, and maybe you feel like this is never gonna come out, that you being able to mentally move forward, you being able to leave the swords that meant fights, arguments, petty arguments behind regarding this precise connection. And you don't see this yet coming, Cancer, but it's there. And this is where I wanted to get, is that 4 planets, important planets that were in retrograde until already some time, since already some time, they are gonna finally move forward during this month of October. So to say that Aquarius, which is your 8th house of transformation, Cancer, also maybe finances of other, how they are affecting you, psychology, death, rebirth. Sometimes we might be talking even here about sicknesses, or maybe some sicknesses that you experienced in the past or that you're experiencing right now throughout this period, that you wanting to heal, you want to transform, like move on. And so Saturn and Jupiter in this house from the mid of October moving forward, while also Mercury is passing its difficult retrograde, and Jupiter doing this beautiful, it's like in beautiful trianon aspect together with Saturn to your 4th house, to maybe what this new moon is bringing you, what is happening in this home environment, what is happening in this maybe change you want to do in your home or in your family, or maybe that person that you see as part of your home, that maybe it's them who is going through this transformation, not you, but this is really affecting you at a very deep level. Maybe you felt that the situation, and honestly, man, having these lovers here as you're coming consciously in the reading, it could definitely be that maybe what I was saying, or maybe this energy that was going on, this is something that didn't happen directly to you, but to that person that you live with, or that spouse, or that partnership, or that father figure or mother figure, definitely, that they were going throughout this situation and you were trying to contain this situation, but it almost like it really touched you, and now this movement that you don't see yet coming, and you trying to be fair, and you trying to be, like making peace, healing the situation, being able to liberate those swords that were stuck there already for some time, and this is coming out. This had already come out of this darkness, like really, man, this new moon in Libra, it's really putting the light on whatever was hidden regarding this issue in your home or this precise relationship. I gotta say, I see this is regarding a connection in your life that has been a burnout for you, Cancer. 10 of Wands. And the peacemaking here. Maybe that apology, maybe like being able to reestablish peace in the situation, balance, putting the scales in level. And so I'm gonna try to get a little bit more specific here with what I'm seeing, for example, in your environment, as I'm having here this King of Wands. And he's looking right at this Death card and Justice. Like, he's looking inside the reading. And this is definitely, for me, as I have to intuitively, and as I'm looking these cards, feel this reading. You have the Lovers underneath this King. This is probably the person or that character that you had, or you're going through this transformation right now. Or maybe you did in the past, but now it's almost like it's coming out to the end of the cycle. Cancer. Like, as I said, don't take this as it has to be necessarily a breakout, or it has to be like, okay, I'm never gonna see you, or let's separate. Maybe for some of you it is, but maybe for you, as I said, there is just, this might mean an important deep change in how you relate to this person, Cancer. Because there was a lot of stuff here that you were keeping to yourself, and that you were like, man, I cannot keep on with this anymore. Look at this, man. I have the Knight of Wands together with this High Priestess. So this is a burnout that you have already for a long time. This is what you come from. And you, I don't think that you were talking about this. You were really trying to manage the situation, not say much about this, trying in a way. I see you that probably you were trying to be the comprehensive person maybe in the situation, and maybe what happened is that at some moments you wanted to explode, because when you do this, but you do this for too long, then is when this might happen. Is that maybe that argument that maybe was this little takes this monstrous dimension that then creates consequences that we are not even ready to feel or experience, Cancer. Like maybe things that we actually didn't want them to happen, but because of the way we contain, and then we... So if you still are in this vibe and this didn't happen yet, but you're kind of feeling this, pay attention to that, unless you just want to let it go. But I mean, my advice is like, take a step backward, Cancer, and think first and then act. And think about really what you want maybe from this connection, or what you want to decide. This person, this character, it's someone that, no matter the gender, guys, I'm not here to center myself in gender. We all have femininity and masculinity inside us, and whatever other genders might exist, I like to, but this is, let's say, somebody that always wants to be, in a way, probably much more in control. Somebody that they know very well what they want, and it's like a go-getter. They know very well what they want, and they just do it. He or she doesn't have a problem, and he doesn't, it's like he would do it anyway, no matter the consequences. Now, generally, the King of Wands, he would be someone that it's wiser in his actions. Might be wiser in his actions. It's just that it's such a fiery character that in some moments might come out as overly too strong, or even impulsive in some way, or I won't say the word impulsive because I don't see this character as impulsive, but I see as maybe somebody that wants to be too much in control of a situation because they know very well what they want and they tend to have an egocentric side to them. No matter if they are very charismatic, I mean, he or she can be a very charismatic character, like, let's say, very social, very open, wants to have fun, very action driven, very fiery, you know, but it's like they want what they want, you know, and nothing can get in their way. And sometimes this vibe can be, you know, these kind of personalities can come out as overly too strong, and so because of that, when you have maybe you are a Cancer that also has a very fiery maybe or a strong character that can bring this clash, you know, in some moments with the situation. And that, to be honest, I think that you are not speaking about this issue, and this is where probably maybe comes your regret as well, Cancer. I think that there were many things that you wanted to say that you were feeling throughout a long time. Like, man, I'm doing this and that, taking care of that and also of that. And man, and I can't anymore. I'm emotionally and physically, I feel exhausted here. And I need a change. I need to take a decision. Because in the way that we're working on this, the way we're doing this thing, maybe you are just doing these changes in your home, or maybe you're trying to buy a home environment, you know, like buying a new house or doing something regarding your house with this person maybe. Or going to live together if you have never lived with this person. And the issue is that it feels in some moments that all the stuff that you have to practically do to do this change, it gets in the way in the connection. Like maybe this is being too heavy at some times in the way, or has important repercussions in the way you interact, even though this could actually be very positive, but you need to balance out this energy. And I think that even Cancer, I gotta say, if this is something that you were trying to keep, because this is the emotion, like what I'm feeling the most throughout. I'm looking at these cards and also what I see in your chart throughout this month. I think that this is something that you have been building already for some time. And I think that this is something to do with the Saturn Jupiter retrograde in your 8th, and that finally now, by the mid of October, they move forward and doing this possible trianon to your 4th. Whatever it might have looked stuck and that you could not maybe, let's say, achieve. You know, like this guy, working hard to get to his castle. You know, like he or she putting all the ones in his bag, on her bag, taking all this long cycle and keep on going and keep on going and feeling, man, when the hell I'm getting there? Because I'm tired already. And I've been feeling like that already for a while, and I need to get here. I need to get this done, because otherwise I feel I might have a burnout here. Maybe again. But you are at this, Cancer. You are already, as I'm seeing the scars, the change is already here. And even though it does look in some moments as heavy, difficult, and even maybe there is a situation or an important conversation or decision that you need to take regarding maybe this person or whatever you are doing with this person, that you need to do, that it doesn't and it won't be easy, to take the decision, but it's gonna be a relief. Cancer. It's gonna feel like a relief, like getting to that 10, so that we can get back to 0 and then start again. Okay? Going back to 0 and start again. Keep on going, Cancer. Keep on going, and I'm gonna send you all my best vibes to you. Okay? In the meanwhile, no matter what is happening here, and even if you are like super busy and there is all this stuff going on that I know is not always, you know, as we wish them to happen, I really see that there is a lot of newness coming through, that it will be like a sensation of like, finally I got there. And just in the moments, if you're feeling like this, or maybe this person gets to your nerves and you're like, man, really right now I cannot stand you. If that's what is happening, take that time for yourself, Cancer. Really. Because you are still very emotional right now, and I think this new moon is even gonna bring you new emotions that can feel sometimes overly too intense, and as I said, you don't want to overreact here. Take that time and then respond. And realize also where these maybe emotions come from. Is it really coming just from that person? Or is it maybe because you are so maybe stressed out, or you have been keeping so many things inside yourself that this is actually coming also from you? Okay? Pay attention to it. Bye bye, guys. And I'm gonna see you next month. Okay? Bye bye.